talk of how to make the still images for animation inside of Xcode. It's the same concept of how you would do an animation for um, animated GIF. So we'll make an animated GIF as well at the same time. So the easiest way to think of an animation is just like digital video, right? If you look at when you're watching a video on your computer, you're basically looking at a series of still images that flashing in front of you so fast that it looks like it's movement, right? Hence, film. What do we call motion pictures, right? Hence the term motion picture. So how we do that is the first thing I'm going to do inside of Photoshop. I'm going to use Photoshop to make my animated GIF. I'm going to make a new file, and the first thing I want to know is what size I'm going to make it. So usually on my app, the screen is what's the size of a standard app screen? I mean, you can go to mobile here, and you'll see the iPad Pro is 2048 by 2000 there, whatever. The iPhone 6 is 750 across by 1334. I don't know, do they have the iPhone 8 in here yet? They have Android. They have Mac icon. I don't know. We can use the. They have a Windows phone?
Yes, Microsoft Surface Pro.
Oh, God. Yeah. Whatever. This version of Photoshop needs updating. That's probably what it is, right? Doesn't really matter. What I'm trying to point out is if you want your animation to go across, it's probably 750 pixels across. Let's do an animation that's 700 pixels across by like 80 pixels high. How about that? So again, I'm going to go over here to pixels in my new window here, and what did I just say, like 700 pixels across by, how about we do 90 pixels high? 72 DPI is fine for now. And okay, and I have a bar. Okay, I have a bar. So how you do animation in Photoshop is, the easiest way that I have found is that you make a different layer for each image. Make a different layer for each image. So inside of Photoshop, you'll notice you have something called layers. If you don't see layers, you can bring up layers by going under Window, Layers, Window, Layers. See that? Window, Layers, right? You see layers? You gotta have layers open. Window, Layers, Window, Layers. So here's my layers. You can float it around if you want. Everybody got layers open? Okay, let's make one layer. I'm going to make glowy lines that go across the screen. How do we make glowy lines that go across the screen? Well, I'm going to use the line tool, or we can use a pen tool, we can use the line tool. There is a line tool that's underneath the circle down here. If you don't see it, it's called lines. Do you see that right there? Line tool. And I can draw a line, draw a line, draw a line, draw a line, draw a line. It's right here. It's called a line. So you just click and drag your mouse. Everybody got some lines? Again, it's just lines. Those lines are kind of skinny. If you want to make them a little thicker, you can actually change the thickness of the line by selecting it. I think you can change it. Can you change the thickness? I don't know. Maybe you have to do it first. How about this? We don't use the line tool. I'm going to start over. Sorry. I'm confusing myself. I don't know if I like the line tool. I really don't sure if I like the line tool. I'm going to start over. I'm going to do a new one. Again, I went File, New. Let me start over. I'm going to do 700 by 90 again. I just want to make a line that's kind of fuzzy. How about we make the pencil tool? How about that? What do you think of pencil tool? That's 1, 2, 3, 4 down from there. And can we make it thicker? Oh, here's the thickness right here, pencil. So again, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 down, pencil tool. See that right there, pencil tool? Then I'm going to change the thickness. These are the options up here for your options. And then let's change the thickness to be a little thicker. How about 7? So again, pencil tool, pencil 1, 2, 3, 4 down, hold the mouse down, pencil tool. And then I change the thickness here to like a 7. And then I'm going to choose a color. If you don't see colors, you can always bring up colors by clicking here. I'm going to use orange. And then let me try the pencil tool this time. Let's see, draw a pencil 1, 2, 3, 4 across like that. How about that? That looks pretty ugly, but that's okay. We can blur it a little bit. I'm going to blur it by going under Filter, Blur. And I'm going to say blur. Is there a directional blur? Is there a directional blur? Do you see a directional blur in there? Motion blur, lens blur, radial blur, shape blur, smart blur, surface blur. How about Gaussian blur? There we go. I'm going to blur it a little bit. How about that? Okay, I'm going to change the color and draw another line. Like that. And then let's change the color and draw another line. And change the color and draw another line. Okay. How does that look? You got crazy lines on there? Just draw some lines. Doesn't matter. I'm using a pencil. And plus. Draw some lines across. We're going to animate. They'll go. Got some lines? Good. 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 Okay, so I'm just drawing some lines. Yours lines are nice and mine go off the edge. Try not to get them go off the edge. I'm trying to take them in there. Okay, I'm going to make a new one now. So draw a couple lines. Now I'll make a new one by making a new layer. So you'll notice I have a layer here. See how it says layer 1? See that? Layer 1. I'm going to make a new layer by clicking next to the trash can. See next to the trash can right there? See there's like a new, this is new layer right there. Do you see that? New layer right there. Boom. And you could turn this one off. And I'm going to draw new lines with the same colors. I'm going to draw some new lines as well. There's one line. Oops. And I'm going to draw, again, how do I make a new layer? You'll see here, there's eyeballs here. See the eyeballs right here? See the eyeball right here?
Just select new layer.
New layer is this option next to the trash can. See it right here? Make a new layer. So I have a new one that has a red line. I'm going to make a purple line now. I'm going to make a purple line. Purple line. And then make a, did I make a yellow one? No, I have an orange one. Orange line. And then what else color do I have? Blue line. And a blue line.
So we should get rid of the other lines we drew.
No, no, leave them there. You're putting on a new layer. Look, see, I got this line. So look, here's the animation so far. I got 1, 2. So it's going to jump between these. It's going to go boom,
Oh, I see.
boom, 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 boom.
So we draw more lines on a new layer.
Make another layer and draw some more lines. Here we go. I'm going to go lines. You could really spend some time making some nice stuff. I'm doing it pretty quickly. I'm just giving you concept here. And then I'm going to do one more. I'm going to do 5. So we got this one, this one, this one. They're not all going to be on the screen at the same time. And then one more. Here we go. One more. Use the same colors though. That one's a little crazy. And then, did I do purple yet? No, purple. Use the same colors. And then one more, new layer, last one. A couple more lines. Did I do yellow? No, I didn't do yellow. The blue one, no.
So when we create a new layer, it shows the older one, right?
Yes.
You could do the eyeball. See the eyeball on and off here? See the eyeball? Turn the eyeball off on one.
How do you show the color swatches?
Window swatches. Window swatches. Okay, so you can see what I got so far. It looks like a mess, but only one is going to be on the screen at a time, right? Only one will be on the screen at a time. Only one will be on the screen. So again, it looks like a mess right now, but you're only going to have one set on the screen at a time. So it'll go boom, 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 and then loop around. Now we can simulate that easily inside of Photoshop using a GIF animation or frame-by-frame animation. To do that, you bring up the animation timeline by going underneath Window, Timeline. In the window timeline, this is what the timeline looks like. We're going to create frame-by-frame animation. Do you see that? Not video. You don't want to create video timeline. You want frame-by-frame animation. Do you see that? It's in timeline. If you don't see timeline, it's under Window, Timeline. Window, Timeline. In the timeline, you're going to create frame by frame. Click the button. It makes one frame. Click the button. Makes one frame. I'm going to turn one eyeball on. See one eyeball on? One frame here. To make a new frame, I'm going to click the next to the trash can, a new frame, and I'm going to turn an eyeball off and turn an eyeball on. Then I'm going to create a new frame. I'm going to turn the eyeball off and turn an eyeball on. A new eyeball. So new eyeballs. Each eyeball matches a new frame. Do you see that? Turn an eyeball on, turn eyeball off, eyeball. Turn new frame, eyeball off, eyeball on. So you'll notice I have one eyeball matches one frame. Eyeball, 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 eyeball. And so if you cycle through them, you can see the animation. If you want it to loop, there is a looping option where it says once. You just say loop forever. And then you can cycle through them. So as the music's playing in my app, it will look like this. You got to do eyeballs matching each frame that matches a new eyeball. You got to bring timeline. Oh, you got timeline? Frame by frame animation. Nope, click the button. Okay, you got one. You got one eyeball equals one. Yeah, and then make a new one. Here's a new frame. And then new eyeball. New frame, new eyeball. Yeah, so one eyeball for each frame. Did you get yours to go? Okay, good. So as you can see, what it'll do as the music is playing in your app, it'll cycle through this. And then of course when we hit the stop button, it'll stop. Now it's not perfect. There is ways, at least in some programming, or at least in some, in After Effects, what I used to do in After Effects is I would bring the music into After Effects, and what After Effects used to do is it would make the animation match the music, right? If it's loud, the bars are big. If it's quiet, the bars are small, right? Yeah, you can do that in programming, but we're just learning the concepts of frame-by-frame animation. Okay, so now here's the problem: is we need to have each one as a separate image. I'm not going to use an animated GIF. But you can use an animated GIF in Xcode, I believe. But that's not programming, right? We want to be able to program this so it slows down, speeds up inside of Xcode. So we need to have them all as individual images. So here's how we do it. We're going to export each frame in the layer window out as a PNG. PNG. Watch. So I'm going to export out each layer as a PNG. So here we go. So I'm going to come over here to my layer window. You don't have to use anything else, just the layer window itself. So I just used the GIF animation to see what it's going to look like. I'm not using the GIF animation. If you wanted to save this as a GIF animation, hold on, I'm backtracking a little bit. If you wanted to save this as a GIF animation, you go under File. You can say Export, I guess. I don't know what I'd get. Save As, maybe? How do I save a GIF animation? Export? File, export, what? Where? Save for web, it's a legacy though. And then change it to GIF right here. And then forever looping. And you would save it in here. So we could give it a name. This is lines. So again, save for web, choose GIF. File, save for web, export, I'm sorry. Save for web legacy. And choose GIF, and then you can see it's animating forever here, and then save, whatever. To make this, that's just to make a GIF. You put it on your website or wherever you want. But to make it properly for Xcode, what we're going to do is we're going to export out each layer. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to my layer window over here, layer window, and I'm going to choose a layer, turn the eyeball on for one layer, turn the eyeball on for one layer. Go to the pull-down menu. See, there's a pull-down menu in the upper corner of the layer window. There's some dots. Do you see the lines? So again, turn one on. See, I have one on. See, one on, number one. There's a pull-down menu at the top. Do you see that? There's little lines up there. Do you see that? We're going to export as PNG. Do you see that? Export as PNG. And that's going to export just this layer as one. So we'll call this lines one. Then I'll click on this one.
This is based on which menu?
In the layer window. See, layer window. Layer window, eyeball on for one layer, right? Export as PNG. Here we go. One layer with the eyeball on. Do you see it? Yeah. Export as PNG. I'm going to call this lines 1. Where? I'm going to put it in my documents, whatever. Then I'm going to turn my eyeball on for number 2 and turn off number 1. Layer 2, eyeball on, pull down menu.
Image is empty.
Export image as PNG. What happened?
It says image is empty.
Line, hold on a minute, 2. Empty? Let me see. Let me see mine. Did I call it lines? No? Oh, here they are. Lines 1. There it is. Lines 2. There it is. Okay. Is lines 2 different? No, lines 2 is the same. Hold on, I gotta think about how to do this. Lines 2 is the same as lines 1. Okay, that's not working. Okay, hold on. Why did it not export out as a separate file? Artboard from layers, new artboard. Convert to smart object. Create a clipping mask. Merge animation option. Panel option, close, tab. Export as PNG, that should have exported it out. No? Export as? It's only giving me the first layer. Why does it only give me the first layer? What's that? Oh, maybe we have to change, maybe here? If I click here, the timeline, is there export here? Well, whatever. How about this? Choose the layer that you want, and go this way. There's another way. How about that? I'm not sure why it's not working here. Artboard from new artboard, lock layer, blah. Export as PNG. That should have worked. I don't know. How about this? File, export as PNG here.
Yeah, that works.
And I'm gonna call that lines 1. Then I'm going to choose the second layer, turn off this one, File, Export, Export as PNG, and let's call that Lines 2. How about we choose layer 3, File, Export, Export as PNG, Lines 3. Layer 4, File, Export, Export as PNG, Lines 4. Layer 5, File, Export, Export as PNG, Lines 5. So that should be different now. Let me see. No? Okay, I got lines 1. Is that one? Lines 2 is different. Yeah, now they're different. Lines 3. That works. Lines 4. There you go. Lines 5. There you go. So, again, you can cycle through them in an animation by looping through the images, and then we'll actually slow them down and speed them up. In fact, we could probably make a button that slows down and speeds up the animation if you want. I don't know. My last example just cycles through. The problem you run into with the frame-by-frame animation is that if you don't give it some kind of pausing, it'll animate as fast as the processor can handle the images, right? That's the same problem you have with animated GIFs. If you don't give the animated GIF some kind of seconds or partial seconds, and it does milliseconds. You control it by milliseconds. Milliseconds, it's like 5,000 milliseconds or something crazy. I don't know that. When we slow it down, right? It's not like seconds, it's like milliseconds is the time. But we can do that when I come back. At least you have the artwork to prepare, right? Okay. And I have a handout for that. I have to go make 2 copies of it. So you can follow the I have a handout for that. Somewhere. I have to go find it. But we followed a handout last time. I had it in my office. So let me go find that and I'll print it. I'll bring it back. Hopefully I can give you that today. And I have a handout for the audio player as well. Okay, so let me go find that and I'll print it for you so you can have it.